Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the first show in English, the 95 Trucking Podcast. Thank you.
What's up, family? This is your girl Sue, host of the 95 Trucking Podcast. Thank you for coming and joining us today. We're talking a little bit about everything in logistics. So whether you're a driver, you're a fleet owner, or just an investor, or want to invest in this billion-dollar industry, we're going to break down the game and give you some gems so that you can carry with you and help you navigate and be successful in the trucking industry. So today I'm not riding solo. I have my two co-hosts here. One, Melissa Tejeda, which is also an experienced driver, and she's currently driving for the acclimated Costco. And then I have Jonathan Liz, which is a veteran driver with over 20 years and also a fleet owner. So they're going to share their experiences, and we're going to talk about how, to get started in the trucking industry. That is the topic of today, getting started in the trucking industry. So let's get right into it.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. My name is Melissa. Like Suhey said, I've been driving for about 15 years. Right now, I'm currently employed by Costco Fleet. And yeah.
Okay, and Jonathan?
Hello, guys. Thank you for coming. This is our first show on English. And thank you, Sue. Thank you, Melissa.
Welcome,
thank you
Jonathan.
so much and welcome. Let's do this and learn all together here.
Yes. So let's get right into it, right? So let's talk about a couple things that are needed to get in the trucking industry and how to move in the right direction. So a lot of people are curious about what to do. I know as a driver, you need certain qualifications and credentials. And Melissa, I would like for you to touch on that. As a driver, what do you feel is the first most important thing to know?
Well, I think that you should enjoy driving because obviously having a CDL consists of driving for a long period of time. And I think just having a passion for the trucking industry and driving, like I said, because it's not an easy job. Social media has made it, super fun to drive, but it's really tough.
They
It's not that
created a
easy.
Right,
Right.
for the trucking industry.
Right.
For sure. And then, as a fleet owner, Jonathan, what do you feel like was the first thing that you needed to kind of get to know or know to get started?
Well, for fleet, it's kind of hard the first 6 months.
Okay.
We have to learn a lot. It's a long way to learn because it's a lot of things to learn. And the insurance, the broker, they don't want to give you work because you are a new carrier. And it's a lot going on this because we try to work and we have a lot of difficult because for the first 6 months. But we can have to keep working and do our best, and everything is going to be open.
Right, and it's gonna be challenging in the beginning. I'm also just so you guys know a fleet owner out here in New Jersey, based in New Jersey, and I started in 2015. This is my 10th year anniversary, and I started in doing box trucks, and then after box trucks, I did dump trucks. So the first thing is determining what type of fleet you want to run because there's so many different ones. There's box trucks, there's drive vans, there's reefers, there's car hauling, there's oversized trucking, doing oversized loads. Melissa, what was the first thing that you tried as a driver? What was your first job?
My first job was with FedEx Ground, over the road, pulling doubles. That was definitely an experience. I would drive from New Jersey to Texas with a team. So 2 of us. That was distracting.
Okay.
That was definitely an experience. A lot of people say, "Oh, why? Like you did a team. How were you comfortable sleeping?" Honestly, when it was my turn to go to sleep, I was out. I was definitely out. I was sleeping. I thought I was home, but I had a great experience. Then from there, I went to. I met you, and I started doing the dispatching. I also did some of the drive-in, and I've been in the ports. So I have my
A lot of
little
different
experience.
experiences.
Right,
Yep.
right, right, right.
I do team driver, and let me tell you this: it's hard to sleep the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks is really hard, but then you get tired, and then you go to sleep.
And then you go to sleep. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Determining what your truck routes are going to be. Like, do you want to stay local? Do you want to go over the road? Do you want to be regional? Those are different things that you need to consider before getting into the industry. If you want to drive or be a fleet owner, whether you want your fleet to go, regional or stay local, you got to understand that there's pros and cons, right? When you go out in the road, you're more prone to being stopped by DOT, going through a wait station, breaking down, having to tow your trucks from, all the way down in Maryland, for example. Like, I'm from New Jersey, and I had a truck break down in Maryland, having to tow it all the way to New Jersey, how that really cuts into your overhead. Jonathan, have you ever had any experience like that?
No. Thanks God, no.
So, question for the girl: are you girls starting both with like a driver, or you starting like a dispatcher?
No, I started as dispatcher for sure. I do not have my CDLA at all. I don't have my CDL. I don't drive.
What about Melissa?
I started as a driver. Well, I started with my B. I started driving school buses. I've driven school buses. I've driven limousines. And now I'm driving trucks.
Nice.
I started like a driver too on container ports. I do ports for 16 years. Port New Jersey, New York, New Jersey. And I run like regional, doing ports. That's where
Nice.
my start, yeah.
So we touched on type of trucks. We touched on truck routes. Let's get into the paperwork needed to get started with your either your CDL. Melissa, you want to start with your CDL, and then we'll go into the carrier. Like, what paperwork needs to be done or you need to have in order to get your company started. Melissa, I know as a driver, you need a CDL for sure.
Right. When I initially got my CDL, I think you needed to be 21 years or over, which I'm pretty sure it's still like that now.
No, it changed. It's now 18.
Oh, it's 18. Look at
Oh,
that.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, well, you'll have to take a few tests, general knowledge, and then like an air brake, depending on the kind of truck that you're gonna be driving.
Okay.
If you want to have endorsements, if you want to pull doubles, if you want to pull hazmat, you have to take a few tests and obviously pass those tests and then go to school. I think New Jersey requires you to attend the school. I went to Smith and Solomon. Out in
Yay,
Linden.
Smith-and-Solomon.
right. And I went through the whole process with them. They helped me, like they give you a week in the classroom, then out on the field so you can complete your hours. And once they feel like you're ready, they'll send you right to the DMV.
And once you become a driver and you want to be hired, you need certain paperwork too, right? Like your medical.
Right.
Medical
You gotta pass the medical DOT test. Obviously, you can't indulge in extracurricular activities like any kind of drugs or really drinking.
Say
You need
no to drugs.
Right. Say no to drugs. If you want to have your CDL, you cannot, entertain any of that. But other than that, once you pass your DOT test and you pass your driving exam, you're ready to go.
Then you can use drug.
No.
Oh.
If you want to have your CDL, you cannot smoke marijuana,
Say
do
no
any
to
kind of
drugs.
other drugs. You might be able to drink, but you can't drink 4 hours prior to you going to work. So you might as well not even drink.
Or operating a vehicle, yes. That is very important because operating a vehicle is a big responsibility. Like, you're operating a heavy duty vehicle. So not only do you have to protect yourself, but you have to protect people around you, little cars, the pedestrians. So it's a big responsibility. So shout out to all the drivers really putting safety first. Now let's talk about opening a company, a fleet. Jonathan just opened his company 6 months ago. So he's fresh out of the process. So let's talk about some of the paperwork that you needed, Jonathan, in order to get started and start operating and getting on the road.
Okay. The first thing is the MC and DOT number,
Yes.
and then the insurance. So you have to have your truck registered and ready, inspection ready for start working.
Okay. Now, also, in order to get the registration, did you have to get the corp code?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a big step that a lot of people skip. So getting your corp code from motor vehicles is very important. You get your corp code, then you go to motor vehicles, register your truck, then you get your DOT and your MC, which you can open on your own on their website, or go to find a truck and accounting near you that can open it for you. You would have to give them a power of attorney so that they can act for you in motor vehicles. Did you do it yourself, Jonathan, or
No, I pay for it.
you paid someone
Yeah,
to do
I
it?
paid
Okay, and you did it that way. You gave them the power of attorney.
Yes. That's
And
correct.
okay, and then they act for you in motor vehicles, and they do the whole process for you for a
Yes.
fee.
Exactly.
So it's really easy if you want to do it that way, where you have someone experienced doing it for you. Now another thing is business structures. Did you open your business? Did you open your fleet as a business or sole proprietor, LLC, or
LLC.
LLC? Okay. So mine's is a corporation. I decided to go corporate only because I was doing dump trucks before, and they told me that they would not accept my LLC, so I had to convert. So early on in the game, back almost like 10 years ago, I did start with an LLC, but I converted right away to a corp, just so I could work with dump trucks. For some reason, they only wanted corporations. So yeah, and any struggles? What are your biggest challenges with the carrier now, with a brand new carrier?
For the first 6 months, it's really tough. It's a lot of brokers don't give you work because I have 20 years in the business, but as a driver, as an owner operator, now it's a new thing, like as a carrier. So I'm a new anyway because I opened in 6 months, so they see you like you're new. And a lot of brokers don't give you work because you don't have 6 months or plus the 6 months, or DOT inspection, number one. They don't want number two. They don't want number three, checking papers. No, they want a DOT inspection.
And can you break down what is a DOT inspection?
The DOT inspection is when the DOT officer check your truck all the way around. They want the safety. They want you have the correct paperwork. You have the truck in nice condition, in good condition, to be on the road, safe. And proper for work, and it's like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, question: it's no motor vehicle who give you the inspection. It's motor vehicle or is it officer?
It's
an
officer. DOT
It's an officer and the
officer.
DOT's officers. All right.
So sometimes people wait to get stopped in order to get a DOT inspection, but now they require you to take your truck to a DOT officer so that you can have that inspection on your MC, and you're able to, facilitate getting jobs from brokers. And that's a big thing because usually a lot of people use a third party like application like DAT. We used to dispatch with Truck Stop, right? We used to use Truck Stop, DAT. They got 123 trucks.
They have a few low boards.
Truckstop.com.
Yeah, truckstop.com. A couple load boards. That's where you go to find most of your work. But these brokers are looking for experienced carriers. It's hard for a brand new carrier to get in the game and start making money or seeing the money right away. So you have to prepare yourself that in the first 6 months you're not going to see the profit or the money that you're looking for. And I believe like for any business, it's hard to see like this is not a like get rich overnight type of industry. This is you're gonna grind and you're gonna work in order to see that profit, and it takes sometimes it could take years, not
Right.
just 6 months, because there's a lot of important things. You have to build relationships. You have to know what you like, and sometimes you may pick something right away, but it's like I'm not gonna stick to this. I want to try something else. Like I said, I started with box trucks. Then from box trucks, I went over to dump trucks. From dump trucks, I went over to white vans. And I like the dry van. So I tried reefers a couple times. I tried the port a couple times, which is just bobtail. This is just your truck without any trailer. And it just wasn't for me. So my lane is dry vans, and I'm pretty sure you guys could agree. Like in the beginning, you think that you want to do this, and then
Right.
you end up doing something completely different.
In this business, it's best that you have experience and you touch at least one time each lane. So just in case the dry van lane is dead, you can jump over to the reefer. If the reefer is not working out for you, you can go over to the ports. If you owning your own dry van or your own equipment is not working out for you, you can go ahead and do power only. Like just sitting in one lane, it's not that it's not ideal, but like I said, you would want to have experience in different lanes so you can be able to move and not sit still. Like me, like I can pull doubles, I can work in the ports, I can do power only, I could do drop and hook, I can run team. Like I've played around in the different fields and different lanes, so
Yes, and if you're gonna do that, the best thing is doing as a driver.
mm-hmm.
So when you open your company, you know what you're gonna do.
Exactly. Just
Yeah,
getting a brand new CDL and jumping into buying your own truck and you having your own company. Not that it's to each his own, but you should get your experience as a driver first so you can experience the different kind of lanes that transportation has. Because transportation, we move a whole lot of things.
And also for fleet owners, if you don't want to drive and you don't have your CDL and you decide to invest, like something like I did, also knowing, kind of like who you're going to put in your truck and trusting that person is really, really tough because you have to trust that this person is going to do the job. They're going to be there on time, that they're not going to crash or damage your
Right.
equipment. There's a lot of things to consider when, being owning
That
your
person
truck.
is a representation of you because you're the company owner.
So it's very important, to really do those interviews. Takes time to really interview your driver and get to know your driver and what your driver wants to do, because if the driver is going against their will, it's going to be harder for you guys to get along. So creating a win-win situation for you and your driver is very, very important and key, because your driver is like your bread and butter in this company. So not only is your equipment an asset, but your driver is also an asset to the company. So
Communicate, always communicate.
That's the key.
absolutely. I mean, the road is always open to success in this industry. So, I mean, whether you want to try it out, get your foot in, I think it's a great way to invest. A lot of people, should have multiple streams of income, and I think trucking is definitely one of them that you should be investing in, for sure.
So price.
Hi guys,
Hi, Hannah.
Hi.
How are you?
very good. First show,
Yes.
guys. You guys talking about the new companies, and the biggest advice I can give to everybody: if you get your license, you put a license in your pocket, is go to one of those big carriers for get some experience. Because that part, like if you get your license and go right away and get your own truck, it's not gonna work. It's really hard for the beginners, especially with our new license. Everything's gonna be more expensive, insurance and all that. And so the best advice, going to one of those big carriers like Swiss, Snyder's, Prime, one of those big carriers. So you can get some experience before you start doing your own thing. you start learning the business. How is deal with paperwork? How is deal with the inspection? Remember, guys, when you're fresh out of the school, you don't know nothing. You're gonna learn everything out there.
Right.
It's a big war in this
Yes.
industry.
Yeah, your best
And you're
teacher
right.
is experience for sure.
Yes, and you're right, Jairo. I opened my company 6 months ago. I got 20 years experience, and my insurance still really high. Imagine the new guys with a fresh license.
Yeah, because the thing is, everybody wanna be the boss. That's the problem. I understand if you're employee, you wanna be like entrepreneur and all that, but it's not that easy. It's really, really hard, especially with everything, insurance, brokers. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what kind of permit you need. So it's way too many things. You better learn first before you spend that money. And like a bunch of guys, screw your credit. So
A brand new MC is just like insufficient credit. When you're young and
Right.
you have no credit, nobody's gonna give you a credit. You're not gonna get a credit card with insufficient credit. You have to build that credit, just like the MC. That's the same way the brokers treat you. That's what the MC number is. It's like your social. It's your credit report. It's your company's credit report. So you need
So
at
new
least,
license is nothing.
What was that?
New license is nothing.
No, it's nothing. You're like a
Nothing.
newborn.
Based on experience, how long do you think I need? They say I'm gonna be a new trucker, a new owner company. Then, how long I need to be in the real business?
I think minimum 2 years working for
Definitely.
Yeah.
2 years
Minimum.
working as an employee.
Minimum.
employee.
Hell no.
Absolutely. if you want to be successful, yes. If you want to go ahead and play the lottery and see what happens, then go ahead, to each his own. But
Yeah,
2
as
years.
small carriers, we don't even want to deal with anyone that doesn't have less than 2 years of experiences.
So you guys telling me if you're a new carrier, I'm not doing the business.
If you're a new carrier, you're gonna do business, but you're gonna get
hire people with experience, drivers with experience. for
right.
sure.
And if you're a new carrier, like a new MC number, you're not gonna get paid good for your loads. Like they're gonna look at you like, okay, he's just a beginner. A lane that would pay 1,000 plus, they might try to give it to you for 600. So
That
like,
happened to me.
and to me too.
It's happened to me. Now
you
That's
gotta
the-
build that
Still
credit.
happened to me.
That's the
build
way
that
it works.
credit.
And I got 6 months already, and I work a lot with a couple brokers because not a lot of people give me work. Right? I'm gonna give you an example. TQL example.
Famous TQL.
Yeah. Everybody knows about TQL.
Yeah.
And sometimes a friend of mine have a line for 1,500, and when I call for the 1,500, they try to give me 1,100. It's because I'm new.
Right.
Yeah, they
And
can
they just
see.
tell
They
me,
can
you-
trust
see.
you.
Yeah,
And they just tell
can
me you
look
don't have
at your
inspection. I
history,
can pay you more. I
everything.
don't know what's gonna happen with my load. I don't know what's gonna happen, so I can pay you 1,100.
Literally. Think
That's,
about
that's
your
crazy
MC.
because that's mean I pay more money for insurance and I get less money for my
Less
for
money.
my
It's part of
job.
the game.
So
Yeah.
how's it gonna work?
Think
You
about
gotta work harder.
Right,
We gotta
right.
work
Keep going,
harder.
keep
think
going.
about it as your social security number.
Yeah.
You got to build that credit. The
Absolutely.
credit cards got to see that you pay on time. So the brokers with your MC number, they got to see that you arrive on time to those appointments, that there's nothing wrong with the loads, and that you have no kind of claims against you. So
But I
until
can
then,
build my own credit in 6 months. I don't have to wait for 2 years.
well, it's different. And
So you
the
truck
freight-
driver, they're telling me this is different because this is just a truck.
you're hauling a lot of money. It's a
Ah.
lot of goods. So they got to be able to trust you.
Okay.
Yeah, trust is everything.
I believe you. I believe you.
This is a relationship based business. You got to build your relationship. You might not even need to
Go on
have
DAT
10
or
right.
brokers.
If you meet
build the
one good
right-
broker and you build that good relationship and he has good lanes and he can trust you, you'll be set. You wouldn't even have to get a low board.
Wow.
Right.
Your work and your word is the key.
Right.
Yeah, and
If you-
contracts are very important.
Mm-hmm.
Contracts are very important.
Every-
Working on contracts is very important, and that's building relationship and doing great customer service. So I do also recommend that for those who are owners, who are drivers, and they own their own truck, hire a dispatching company for your MC. a good dispatching company, and you have to vet those dispatching companies as well to make sure that they're giving the right customer service, because they might land you a contract that you may not be able to get. If you're focused on the road, your job is to make sure that you're there on time. You're building, clientele, things
Right.
like that. You're doing sales outside, but for you to keep going and make money and making sure that your MC is rated high on the board, you got to have someone to help you in the back. You have
Trucking
to have
is 24/7. Trucking
office.
never stops 365. So if you want to get into this business, understand that.
This is a
The
lifestyle.
loads got to get there no matter what. It don't matter what's going on in your personal life. So if you agree to haul a load, you better make sure it makes it to where it needs to go.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yes, so we're wrapping up here now. So again, I want to thank everyone from watching at home, and thank all the panelists here tonight for touching on this topic and sharing so much experience and so many gems with the audience. So again, we're going to be doing this every Sunday, so please tune in. If you guys have any questions or want us to touch on any topics, please send them to our email. We'll be showing that at the end of the podcast. And again, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.